excuse me, I have to ask everybody in this room, have you ever had any of these realtor challenges? I mean, if anybody, you can do a virtual, put your hand up in the air virtually, but let me tell you, everybody has had these challenges with your real estate business. And I have had every single one of these challenges. Being overweight, not having a really good business plan, not having the cash flow to pay my taxes, just having a bad attitude. I mean, these are challenges that we all really need to overcome, and we're constantly overcoming these as a real estate community. Oh, well, let me tell you, I have a client of mine who's down in Las Vegas. Her name is Sharon. She owns 3 different real estate businesses. She's making $100,000 a month with her real estate business. And are you ready for this? She is so overweight. She's about as big as her Mercedes. And I had lunch with her a few weeks ago and pulled in. She pulled in, walked into the restaurant, sat down, plopped down in the booth, and she said, "You know what, Chris? I'm fat and I'm broke." I says, "Okay, that's a great way to start a lunch." And so we actually talked through it. She has such cash flow problems that she can't pay all the people that she has with her businesses. And this is a really big problem with her. So, we all have, problems that we can really overcome. And my story in particular, I mean, Lord knows, I started off at a very early age becoming an entrepreneur. When I was in college, I was a drug dealer. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I dealt drugs. I made a buttload of cash doing that, but then had a little bit of a problem because, of course, I couldn't keep it up because I was doing my own inventory. So that wasn't really good. Fast forward to me, I cleaned up my act, got a really good job with PricewaterhouseCoopers as a CPA, and I basically coached and worked with clients who were starting their own businesses. They called it the Emerging Businesses Group. Did that for about 11 years. And then after that, I decided that I hated my job, and I was just like crying on the inside every night I went home. And so I became a realtor. I wanted to do something with my life that really had a lot of passion. And I was so passionate about real estate, and that's one of the reasons I went into real estate. That was 22 years ago. I've been selling real estate. I am selling currently in San Francisco right now, a broker in San Francisco. Market here is absolutely crazy. I'm sure you guys have probably heard stories. But, the bottom line is I was doing my business all wrong. When I went into real estate in the early 90s, it was sort of like the cowboy days of real estate. And we were partying with clients, getting 4 hours of sleep, doing all kinds of crazy stuff to make deals, many of which were probably not even ethical. And but I was making a mid six-figure income, had a great lifestyle, but I was basically really burning the candle at both ends. And they always tell you, don't worry about what's going to happen in the future, and you should worry about those random phone calls at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. Well, guess what? I got one of those calls. Some random Tuesday at 4 o'clock when the hospital called to tell me that my partner of 10 years had brain cancer. And it's a very difficult thing to talk about, but you talk about having the rug pulled out from under your feet. I mean, my whole life just turned upside down. I mean, keep in mind, I was running this business, and I just said, the hell with it. I don't really care about this business. I got to figure out a way to make this better. And you know how I coped? I coped by drinking. I mean, I used to party a lot with all my clients, and there is a saloon, a bar right next to San Francisco General Hospital called Jack's Saloon. I would go in every single night, excuse me, have a double Jack Daniels on the rocks, suck it down, and go into the hospital and spend the whole night in the hospital. I did that for a whole year. Well, you can imagine what this did to my health. You can imagine what this did to my business, because I was still running my business. My doctors told me that I was freaking out. My body was freaking out, high cholesterol, blood pressure. He said I was going to kill myself if I didn't change it. And that I found this study that Harvard did this study that basically said that something crazy, like 80% of all primary caregivers of terminally ill patients die after 3 to 4 years. That's because you're not taking care of yourself. And this is when I had this major epiphany. And the epiphany was that I really had to clean up my act because I had to be strong for my real estate community. I had to be strong for my family, and I had to be strong for my partner. Great news, though, which was so cool, is that I completely changed my act. And the great news is that my partner of 10 years went into complete remission. Yes. So I'm really excited about that and really happy about that. But what I learned from all this was basically, it's really not, you have to have a holistic business. Every entrepreneur I've ever talked to says you have to deal with your health, you have to deal with your mindset, and you have to deal with your business in a very targeted approach. What I learned is to really eat clean and to exercise, feed my mind constantly, be super creative, targeted in marketing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go down in 2 weeks and I'm speaking to the California Association of Realtors about niche marketing and really finding a niche. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But I'm really looking forward to putting on that presentation. Be really creative and targeted. Open houses for me, I don't know. Open houses are great, I guess, but I hate doing them. And the reason I hate doing them, I hate carrying those signs around. Isn't that terrible? But you got to find something else. Leverage yourself to be doing things that you don't need to be doing in your real estate business. And most importantly, be vulnerable. The one thing that I learned from this whole experience is that it's truly amazing. If you're really vulnerable with your clients, you can make more money, because Brene Brown, actually, you should write this down. Brene, Brene. Brene Brown actually is a college professor out of the University of Texas in Austin, and she does this great YouTube video on TED Talk. So Google Brene Brown TED Talk, and she does a 15-minute or 18-minute thing that really underscores the importance of being vulnerable with your clients, getting into their head, understanding what their problems. If you're vulnerable and telling clients, what your issues are, what kinds of things that you have to deal with, your clients will open up to you. And that's a great way to get them to agree to list their home for sale. It's a great way to really connect with your buyers and your sellers. So one of the things I really advocate is to really be more vulnerable to get more business in your life. And it feels really good to do so. So me, I'm completely vulnerable with my clients. I'm an open book, complete transparent. I have completely cut back on the number of hours. I'm running 3 businesses right now. And I have, in my real estate business, I'm probably only working about 25 hours. I'm making more money than I've ever made, ever. I have given up alcohol. I'm into meditating, working out. I take tons of time off and vacations. And the best part is, I love taking naps. I love taking naps every single day. As a matter of fact, I can count the days last year on one hand, even this year, that I have not had a nap, even just a quick one. So really a big proponent of naps. But what this all led to is essentially me starting the company Massive Abundance. How to Create Passion, Purpose, and Prosperity in Your Life is the book that I first wrote. I wrote two other books, Creating Your Unstoppable Dream Business and The 7 Secrets Your Broker Doesn't Want You to Know, which is a real cute book. Listen, the 7 Secrets book, you can get that book for free if you go to my website, which is massiveabundanceinc.com. So massiveabundanceinc.com. If you go to that website, and usually I don't like people pulling out their phones, but if you want to go there right now, I will. You get the book for free. It's just a funny read. It's a real funny read. The other book, I'll tell you in a little bit if you stay to the end, how to get my Massive Abundance book, which is the orange book, which is currently on Amazon.com. I'll show you how to get that for free as well. Okay. What basically I did is I wrote these books. In addition to this, the genesis of Massive Abundance was basically my experience in selling real estate and also just having to deal with the health and all the other issues. It's really my mission and has been my mission to really, ever since, as talking to people like you and getting in front of people and talking about Massive Abundance, from, my mission always had a common thread basically from my Massive Abundance business to my real estate brokerage business to working at PricewaterhouseCoopers helping entrepreneurs, and even as even I guess you could say as a drug dealer, the common thread of my mission in my life has always been to bring people to new levels, new heights. I love saying that. Anyways, hopefully you guys are virtually laughing at me. Um, so I basically, in combination with the books that I wrote, I have a show on the web called the Max Show, Massive Abundance Exposed, where I expose the secrets of badass realtors all over the world. And definitely check that out. You can get to it from my website, massiveabundanceinc.com. I have done many surveys of real estate agents with the interviews that I've done and my experience of over 22 years in real estate. This is really what it all boils down to. 90% of the realtors and entrepreneurs that I've talked to all agree that you have to have what I consider to be the 3 pillars of real estate. Okay, I'm going to go back. The 3 pillars of real estate are purpose, power, and proficiency. So this is really like a 3-legged stool, if you will. And this is really what I consider to be the core of any successful entrepreneurial business, especially with realtors. Proficiency is just your technical ability. You need to know what you're going to say and do to buyers and sellers. You need to know how to close listings, what to say to people at open houses. You need to understand your files. You need to understand what the rules and regulations are. This is true with every single real estate business that we all are working on. Power is also so key. Power is all about the power of mind and body. For me, it's about feeding your mind with all the right information. It's feeding your body with all the right food and drink. As many of us get older, especially like myself, I'm running 3 businesses, like I said. I have to be really super careful about what I'm putting in my body and my mind, because I won't have the energy, to make this whole thing happen. So you have to really be conscious of this. No more Big Macs and fast food and crazy food diets and all that good stuff. So eating clean, I'll talk to you about that in 1 second. Finally is the purpose. Purpose is so important. And this is your mission, people. This is what I call your North Star. You have to have a strong mission. You have to have every single person that I have interviewed or talked to has a passion or a mission, a North Star, whatever you want to call it. Martin Luther King did not say, I have a goal. He did not say that. He said, I have a dream. He had a purpose that was bigger than himself. And if you can define what your purpose is, and we talk about this in my course, we talk about all 3 of these, purpose, power, and proficiency. If you can define what your purpose is in this life, in this business, it's going to make it so much easier for you to have a rocking real estate business. The problem with us a lot of realtors, like myself included, we're all suffering from ADD, and we suffer from what I call the shiny object syndrome. And that is, we're always see things that we think are going to make our business better, make the property statements bigger, make them smaller, have more pictures, have a greater website, blah, blah, blah. The thing is if you don't have a mission to support you that you can really get behind and feel really excited about, it's going to be really difficult for you to, filter through all the junk you have to filter through as a realtor and get you through some of those days when you're working 12 hours a day, or that deal goes south and you're freaking out because you don't know how to make your mortgage payment. Let me tell you, I've been there, done that. So it's really important that you have this mission. And let me give you a great tip on how you can find what your mission is. And you can use this for any aspect of your business. I love using your body. Use the emotions of your body to determine what your mission is, what your passion is. And this is what a great day. Let me give you an example. If you make a list of all the things that you have to do, for instance, in your business, make a list of all the things you have to do: brokers tours, open houses, doing your file work, doing your marketing, going to sales meetings, whatever it is that you do. Get yourself in a quiet room or out in nature and take each one individually, each item that you make on this list, and really be honest with yourself and start thinking about that one thing and see how your body reacts. This is really, really important, because when your body shuts down, becomes really dark, when your body says, becomes fearful or anxious. This is how I feel about open houses. When I think about open houses, I feel really anxious. I feel like, I don't want to do this. I feel like, really this is not something that I should be doing. But when I talk to people like yourselves, when I stand up in front of people, when I'm helping buyers and sellers with their selling their homes, when I am doing all kinds of things that I really enjoy doing, certain types of marketing, I feel very alive. I feel very expansive. I get excited and I really look forward to it. You can use these emotions in your body to help you determine what you should be doing in your business, but most importantly, to what you should be doing as your mission and what your passion is. Okay? So to help you use your purpose, or to come up with your purpose, use your body. And we talk a lot about this in my course, which we'll talk about. And so because of this, really, I think the old world real estate was really all about the way I conducted my business, that I told you about. I started off cold calling like crazy. I was working 15 hours a day. I was 30 pounds overweight. I was marketing all over the place. I had no real strategy. I was doing Xanax, the whole 9 yards. And this is the way we used to do real estate. For any of you old timers in the room like myself, this is how we did real estate. And by the way, just as an aside, available 24/7. Don't you love that? I love it when realtors always advertise, well, I'm available 24/7 for my clients. Well, you know what? Whoever introduced the concept or invented the concept of being available 24/7 for your clients should be shot. I should just say that right now. I mean, because that means you don't have a life. And you can very easily condition your buyers and sellers and let them know how you're going to communicate with them and when they're going to communicate, and blah, blah, blah. You do not have to be available 24/7. That is not a very massively abundant business at all. So the new world is really targeted marketing, finding a niche. Talk a little bit about that. But, working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. How about that? Your health first, eating clean. Instead of Xanax, taking vitamins. There's a concept. So what this all supports are really, I should say, the 7 steps of massive abundance. I call this the secret sauce that supports those 3 pillars. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm giving you a lot of information, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to, consult with me for free at the end of this. So don't worry. I can send you copies of the slides if you guys are interested. I'll tell you how to get that. But basically, I'm going to throw some information at you. I'm just going to sort of touch on it. And if you want more information, we can talk later. But the 7 steps of massive abundance really support those 3 pillars. And they include painting your passionate picture, having that passion in your life, activating that vision, which is setting the goals. 3 is making room for the magic. It's sort of like there are certain things that you can do to really help you supercharge and manifest your goals into your life. Getting the support, which is essentially finding the right people to support you in your business. Being optimistic is also something that is very important. I don't know if you knew this or have heard of that Barbara Friedman. She's an MIT professor, University of Maryland professor, and she did a study that basically said, I think she studied like over 500 entrepreneurs that were making over $1 million a year. And she said that every single one of them were super optimistic. You have to be optimistic to have a business of yourself, especially as a realtor. And she says that there's actually a ratio of 3-to-1, that people have to have a ratio of 3 optimistic thoughts to 1 negative thought. She says you can go up to 11 optimistic thoughts with 1 negative thought, but then after that, I guess you're just delusional. So, so you can learn how to be optimistic. This is another thing I talk about, but do what prospers you. This is all about feeding your mind and your body and doing all the right things that really in your mind that you should be doing. And then once you do all this and you have such a great business, you have the money, whatever's important to you or whatever or however you define success, that you have the accolades from your business associates, the money, whatever it is, I think it's like a big circle to me that you have to give it back. And there's great ways that you can give back to your community, to your family, and to the country And I hate to sound mercenary, but there are great ways to do it, benefiting your own business too at the same time. Now, I don't have the time to talk about in detail about all 7 steps. I'm going to cover just a couple of them. And then we'll start off with painting your passionate picture. All right. The most important thing that to start this whole process off is that you take the time to find a vision, to find a passion in your life that you feel that you really can really get behind. Now, a lot of people, there's Cal Ripken, who is an MIT professor, just wrote a book, Being So Good They Can't Forget You. He says passion is a bunch of BS and that you can't always make money from your passion and what have you. But I think it's really important to note that we both say the same thing, because he says if you're not passionate about real estate, become really good in real estate and then integrate your passions into it. Like a friend of mine who's actually one of my clients who flies planes up in Napa Valley. And he flies planes, that's his passion, is flying. And he's found a way to, for instance, integrate his plane flying with his marketing for his real estate business, giving his clients' children free rides in the airplane. And they just love that. So there's definitely ways that you can do this, but you have to have a passion in life to really incent you and to really make you want to work your tail off for your real estate business. Best way to do this too is to really feel that passion. Couple things I do is I write a letter to myself, and it's a great thing to do. Like at the end of the year, write a letter to yourself about all the things that you want to do or accomplish in the next year. What kind of car do you want to drive? What kind of friends do you want to hang out with? How much money do you want to make? Where do you want to travel to? What do your sellers and your buyers look like? Mail that letter to yourself and put it in a drawer, and then take it back out on a year later, and you'll be astounded how many of the things that you put in that letter did manifest themselves. It's a real fun exercise. But having a passion behind your business is so critically key to do that. Step 2 is about activating your vision. And this is all about setting goals. And I think that it's very important that your goals are massive. Your goals have to be linked to your vision, obviously, but they have to really be something that gets you really excited. There are a lot of trainers out there that are telling you that you should make small goals, make very small little goals so that you can feel confident that you've achieved some of the goals. And, I say that's a bunch of hogwash. You have to have goals that are really going to get you excited. If I had a goal for myself to make $25,000 a year just because I know that I could accomplish it, that would do absolutely nothing. I wouldn't even get out of bed in the morning. I have myself personally, I have some really killer goals, and I probably haven't achieved in my real estate business. I have not achieved any of my real estate goals in the last 10 years. How about that? But I am succeeding. How can I say that? I am succeeding at an increasing rate of money, time off, clients. I keep making more and more and more every single year while failing at my goals every single year because my goals are so large, because they get me so excited. So make your goals massive. Very important. Like I mentioned, I'm speaking to the Car Expo in 2 weeks about diamond down, finding a niche market, finding a target market. And I'm going to be talking in detail about, how to focus your online presence with regard to that, how to find your niche market, and what that means for your marketing approach. But, the bottom line is, a diamond is created by all the earth putting pressure on a piece of carbon in one particular spot, and that's what a diamond's made of. The better that you are at defining a niche market, whether it's first-time buyers, investors, a certain geographical location in your marketplace, a certain type of building, whatever it is, the faster you're going to get the respect of your peers. You're going to get a lot more referrals. You're going to make a lot more money. And it's just so important. When I started off with real estate in San Francisco, I always boasted, San Francisco is only 7 square miles. I can sell the whole city of San Francisco. I can sell it all. And I started my whole business that, and my marketing efforts, my energy, and everything was so watered down. Whereas a lot of people chose a particular area. They just focused on a particular area of San Francisco, like the South of Market area, or just Pacific Heights, or whatever. The more that you can diamond down your niche and market to that niche, the faster you'll become. And just because you've been in the business for 10, 20 years doesn't mean you can't start now. So just want to make sure that we talk about that. It's important that we have 5 targeted marketing goals. As part of your goals, you have to be working at least 3 to 5 consistent marketing types. So for instance, you should all be calling your sphere of influence. All of us need to be doing that consistently all the time. When I'm coaching clients, I'm constantly asking them, are they calling their sphere of influence? What else gets them excited? What else do they like to do? I don't like doing open houses. So because I don't like doing open houses, I got to find something else to replace that. And I'm doing something right now that nobody else in my marketplace that I can figure out is doing. And we have, believe it or not, as hot as our market is in San Francisco, we still have expireds and withdrawals. So I've picked one geographical area of San Francisco, which is my niche, and I'm working expireds and withdrawals. But what I'm doing is, instead of just sending mailers to these people, I'm actually going to their door and knocking on the door and trying to introduce myself to them, hand them my package, and develop a relationship with them. Nobody else in my marketplace that I know of is doing that right now. So think outside the box. Stop playing the game, change it. Whatever every other agent in your marketplace is doing, do the 180. Do something completely different. If 14 or 1,500 of you in your marketplace are all advertising the same magazine, what's the point? Don't do that. Don't spend the money doing that. Figure out something more creative and something different that nobody else is doing. And typically what happens is people get fearful when they would start a new marketing method or they want to do something. And I don't know if anybody here has heard of Kaizen, but Kaizen's a great way to circumvent that fear. For me, I had a big fear of knocking on doors or going up to people's houses. And let me tell you, I would get sweaty and develop hives and the whole 9 yards. One of the things you can do is take small baby steps. Kaizen is really the road of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And it's all about taking small little baby steps. If you want to knock on doors in a particular neighborhood, for instance, or you want to start any kind of project, this applies to anything in your life. Maybe the first day you're just going to identify maybe 10 homes you're going to knock on. Maybe the second day you're going to actually pull up the MLS and see what the activity is on that house. Maybe the third day you're going to pull up the tax record on those houses. Maybe the fourth day you're actually going to, maybe go knock on one door. Just say, that's all I'm going to do is just do one door. And that way you sort of circumvent the amygdala, which is in the back of your brain, which governs your fight or flight response. And so you're taking small little baby steps. By taking those small little baby steps towards your marketing goals, you're also building confidence, and you're helping yourself build the confidence to start going out there and maybe knock on 10 doors a day or whatever it is. So I think that's very important. Also, I think as part of your marketing goals, and this is a good time to mention this, is to eat clean. You should have in your business goals how you're going to sustain yourself. What is it you're going to do for your own energy? Do you need to adjust your weight? Do you need to adjust the food that you're eating? What you're drinking? Whatever it is. The most successful real estate agents that I've talked to, and certainly the most successful entrepreneurs I've talked to and interviewed, all have some kind of regime, some kind of health regime that allows them to have the energy to really focus on their business. I'll tell you one thing, if any of you have ever heard of JJ Virgin, she has a thing, and I can give you the link to her. I don't make any money off it, but she's a friend of mine. She has a great cookbook on the 7 foods you shouldn't eat. And it's a great program that basically I've lost 20 pounds on it. I have got clear thinking. I sleep better at night. I don't have the bloating and everything else. She has an amazing diet, JJ Virgin. So if you're interested in that, just let me know and I can give you the address on how you can check that out. But it's very important that you have those goals. The last one I want to talk about is getting the support. And getting the support is step 4. It's really important, I believe, that you surround yourself with the people that are going to get you to where you want to go. It's important that you have a mastermind group. You should be a coach. Everybody should be coached. If you're not going to use me, find somebody else. Find somebody for free. but it's really important that you're playing with somebody that's doing more business than yourself. Join a mastermind group. Everybody here in this room right now probably knows some other real estate agent in another marketplace where you can get on the phone with them and just talk to them. I'm in 2 mastermind groups myself right now, but I talk to them once a month, once every 2 weeks, and say, hey, what's working in your marketplace? What kind of marketing are you doing? What kind of bad things are happening? What kind of good things are happening? Exchange ideas. It's a great way to really get motivated, feel incented, and not only that, you start developing great relationships with these other realtors and developing a referral base. Last year I made over $100,000 with just the mastermind group members that have given me referrals. I'm in 2 mastermind groups right now. And you can do that, and it's free. So everybody should definitely be in a mastermind group. Everybody should be on an email diet. Stop checking your email all the time. Start using block time. I mean, people check their email so much all the time right now. It's just ridiculous. And you know what email is? Email is a great way for other people to schedule your time. I'll say that again. It's a great way for other people to schedule your time or your day. You don't need to be checking your email all the time. Check it 2-3 times a day. But create block time for yourself. Have blocks of your time during the day where you're doing the marketing that you need to be doing for your business. And the same thing with, the news and all the information you get. People tell me, oh yeah, first thing I do when I get out of bed is I listen to Fox News or I listen to CNN. I mean, I can be depressed on my own. I don't need other news organizations to help me get depressed. You talk about putting a damper on your day and really screwing up your attitude. I mean, stop listening to the news. If you want to get depressed, do it at night before you go to bed. And then one of the things I want to talk about the 4 types of people I hang with. I love talking about this because an old friend of mine told me this once, and that is you should only be hanging around people that you can make money with, that you can teach, that you can learn from, and that you can have fun with. I'll say this again. People that you can teach, people you can learn from, people you can make money with, and people you can have fun with. And if you have people in your life right now that I call them energy vampires, they're just, energy sucks. I mean, they just tell you, you can't do that, that won't work, blah, blah, blah. Get them out of your life. Fire their happy butts. It's not worth it because you need to surround yourself with really positive, uplifting people. And there's always one person that always says to me, well, Chris, what if I'm married to him? Well, that's a whole different thing, whole different conversation. But 4 types of people to hang with. And then finally, virtual assistants. And this is all about figuring out, using your body, figuring out all the things that you should not be doing in your world, finding other people to do it. In your real estate world, I know all of you in this room have things that you don't like doing. Figure out a way to farm those out. One of the things I've used very successfully for so long is virtual assistants. You can go on Google virtual assistants. There are many people that were around the world that will do things for you if you don't need them right there by your side, but will do things for you for cheap. I mean, $4 or $5 an hour. I mean, we're talking about developing websites, developing a newsletter, writing a blog for you, helping you with your business plan, helping you with your finance, whatever it is. There's so much stuff that virtual assistants can help you with, and you don't need to be doing yourself. So to conclude this whole thing, basically, I think it's really important that you really journal, reassess where you're at, watch your diet, exercise, use Kaizen, go on an email diet, fire all those vampires in your life. And the don'ts are just the opposite of that, because this is not going to get you to the place which you want to be in your business, whether it's money, time, what have you. So I think the first thing that we should all do is really analyze our health and our business and your dreams and how to get there, and then use Kaizen to start one new marketing goal today. All right. Now, at this point, people are probably saying, oh my God, I know that I flew through a lot of information. I get through a lot. We can talk in a little bit more detail later about, anything that you have questions on. I'm going to open it up to questions, but I know a lot of people get really crazy because I've given them a lot of information, but this is really what my mission is, and a very holistic approach to help real estate agents based on my experience, really rocket their business. And this is my mission. And listen, I feel your pain because I have been there before. I have been in situations where I've had one escrow and couldn't pay my mortgage payment. And I was overweight and I was drinking and it was just crazy. But listen, I came up with the answer, and basically it's a blueprint, that an online blueprint, if you will, that has 7 very easy steps that can, if you follow these steps, nothing can hold you back. I mean, can you imagine having more time to spend with your family, not working 24/7? Can you imagine having more consistent income, more listings, whatever is important for you, doing marketing that you're really excited about and you really want to get into? When I was at the Car Expo, I spoke last year, and Andre, brand new real estate agent, joined my course, the Top Producer Blueprint course. And we had him on television within 30 days. He is rocking it down in LA with his business, the cool things that he's doing. So let me just tell you really in 1 minute, let me just tell you what this is all about. This is about 7 videos. It's essentially having your own website. It's an online course. 7 videos for 7 weeks of deep dive training into everything that I've just talked about, this holistic approach, all 7 steps, the 3 pillars, including each video has an action steps, and includes homework, it includes a 30-minute business planning overview call. And right now, I will give you for free, including the bonuses, the 30-minute overview call, my book, Massive Abundance, and also my other book, Creating Your Unstoppable Dream Business. It has health charts, scripts. We get into the whole shebang, everything that you need. And you can go to this on your iPad, your iPhone, on your computer, watch the videos. It's a completely self-contained course. You've got your own website that you can go to as many times as you want, with all this amazing information that walks you through step by step on how to improve your life and your business. Now, I know a lot of you are probably wondering, okay, well, how much is it? This is something that I have done, my God. I used to coach people one-on-one. I was charging $500 to $1,000 for one-on-one coaching. I don't do it anymore because I don't have the time. Right now, what I want to do is give you guys a great deal. I'm doing this course for $495. For $495, you get this online course. And if you buy this course today, all right, I'll tell you that I am turning it into, just for you guys, a one-on-one coaching program. Seriously, I will get on the phone with you and walk you through the course, answer any questions you have about the course, and talk to you as often as you want. Most of my clients I'm talking to on a weekly basis and helping them answer their questions and helping them, like I said, walking them through the course step by step. So if you want one-on-one training, I don't do this for everybody because this course is completely self-contained. If you want one-on-one coaching, purchase this thing in the next 24 hours, and I'll include that one-on-one coaching in there. It's a really good value. Some of you are probably thinking to yourself, oh my God, I can't pay this. I can't afford $495 right now. I have to talk to my husband. Don't have the money. I don't have this, blah, blah, blah. Listen, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So I don't care. Buy the course. Go through the whole course. If you're unhappy with this in the first 30 days, I'll give you your money back. That's fine with me. I want you to be completely 100% happy there with this purchase. And it's really not a purchase as much as an investment. Like Andre invested in the course, and he became a magician, and he's doing magic every day, every single day with his business. So I'm hoping that you can do this. I'm going to give you where you need to actually purchase the course. And I'm just make a note of this right now and write this down. Pull out your phones and you can sign up. It'll take you to the sales page. It's tpblueprint.us. Make sure you write the US. It's not com. tpblueprint.us. And you can purchase the course today and invest in your real estate business. And I will be there every step of the way. Take the journey with me, people. I would love to help you. And if you do want a free consultation, my email address is right there at stafford@massiveabundanceinc.com. Shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to talk to you for 30 minutes for free. Anything about your business that you want to talk about. I love doing that. Also, I told people that if you wanted my orange book, the Massive Abundance book, for free, and you're going to have to write this down because it's currently on Amazon right now. But if you want it for free, you can go to the website www.massabund.com. So www.massabund.com, massabund.com, and you'll get the book for free. So that is really where I take it, and I'll leave it right there, and I'll open it for questions right now. Bill, I am going to unmute you. So Bill, you're unmuted if you want to talk, or just type a question into the box. And if anybody does have questions, this would be a great time to ask me about the course, anything I've talked about in today's presentation. I love answering questions. Bill, you should be unmuted too, so you should be able to talk. But I'm not hearing anything right now, but if you do have questions, and if nobody has questions, Bill, maybe you could just say no questions, and I'll just wrap this thing up, because I want to make sure that you guys have any questions. And if you do have questions and you don't want to ask them right now, seriously, I answer all my own emails. Go ahead and send me an email to stafford@massiveabundanceinc.com. Okay, one question. Oh, I see. I'm sorry, I didn't see that, Bill, that you don't have a mic. So somebody has a question. What could that question be? I'll take a sip of water here. First year in real estate, what's the one thing I wish I had known? Good question. God, that's so funny. That's in my Mac show when I'm interviewing people, especially real estate agents. I always conclude the interview asking them that very question. So that's sort of cool that somebody asked that question. It's definitely the niche marketing. I think that's one of the things that I wish somebody had told me, to really concentrate on some target market, some niche market. Because like I said, I just went all over the place, and I was doing all kinds of marketing, and I was not doing it consistently. And if I had just focused on one particular area or one type of buyer or seller and really concentrated all my energy and my money on that niche, then I would have been much more successful and made a heck of a lot more money a lot sooner. So I hope that answers that question. Any other questions, Bill? I hope that you guys all enjoyed this presentation. And Bill, if there's no other questions, you just let me know. I think we're good. Good. All right. Thanks so much. Well, listen, I just will tell you real fast, I always like to end the presentation with one of my favorite people, Theodore Roosevelt, which is frequently called the arena quote. And that is not the critic who counts, or it's really the credit belongs to the man or the woman who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood. Because if they win, they triumph valiantly. But at the worst, if they fail, at least they fail while daring greatly. Everybody, go out there and dare greatly. Thank you so much for having me, and hopefully I'll get some emails from you guys and be able to talk to you real soon. Thanks so much, Bill, for setting this up. I really appreciate your time.